So I'm going to start showing you guys how to date and move and not get disrespected by females. This is a perfect example. This chick added me, all right? She added me and the conversation was going well. I'm going to talk about the key parts so you guys can read it as it goes on. I'm going to talk about the key parts, all right? Because females like this you need to avoid at all costs. And even the girls, as they call them, I know that I'm right in this entire conversation. I was very nice, very respectful. She just kept being disrespectful because I wouldn't spend money on her. So I want positive or negative feedback based on how you guys see this, your perception of this, all right? So you guys can see everything's going normal, blah, blah, blah. I have a flow chart when I reply to these girls. So the typical crap with every single thing, the flow chart. And this verse is getting disrespectful, okay? So I ask her, which one, like, are you free? She tells me she's free. And then I do coffee dates. They're great. One-on-ones. You get to know the person. I pay for your coffee. Perfect. You don't like coffee? Give you something else, a sandwich, whatever. The point is a nice coffee date. Very low cost. Very one-on-one to see if we're compatible. She goes, neither. I have an espresso machine. Are you asking me on a coffee date? I say I thought it was very direct what my intentions were. When I said, let's meet next week, she said, I'm sorry. I've never been asked on a coffee date. Let's go with Starbucks. Those are disrespectful. I let that slide. I said, it's okay, no worries. What are you normally asked? I'm trying to see, what is she used to? Like, if it's weird, maybe, if I get to know her, then I can give you that lifestyle. I'm just trying to understand what type of girl this is. And she says, just not that is all. But I'm open to meeting new friends. On her profile, it says she's looking for a relationship, a serious relationship. So her saying that is an innuendo and is disrespectful. I said, then what? I'm also not interested in friendship. If that's what you're interested in, we should stop our conversation now. So I was ending it right there. As this goes on, you all are going to see she's going to start trying to say, I got friend zoned and all this other stuff. No, I ended the conversation there. And multiple times, I told her that we're not going to do this because you don't deserve the date, based on how she was acting. But you can see as it gradually goes, you guys can see here about just trying out for a real date, right? Like, this is a key part. So she says, I assume this coffee date is a tryout for a real date, right? It doesn't require much effort or thought. You should appreciate that I'm asking you out on the date to begin with, that I'm paying for. The fact that she has this entitlement is insane. So you guys can read that. So I say, what is a real date? I accept your apology. The reason this conversation is going this way because you never answer my question. Which is true. If she would have answered my question, the flow of the conversation would have continued, but we hit this stump because she's trying to tell me what is irrelevant. Just because you think the question is irrelevant does not mean I think the question is irrelevant. The fact that you're saying it's irrelevant is disrespectful because you're downplaying what I find important, which I did not do to her. So you guys can see here, a little bit more going on. Like I said, you guys can pause it. I'm just going to talk about the key parts. So this is the main thing. She finally answers the question. And these places that she's talking about are steak bars, steak restaurants, sushi places, expensive places. I don't know this chick. Why would I take you on a place expensive? I don't know you. Let's say you're in a monopoly relationship like me. You have other girls. Or, you just have a bunch of girls, whatever your situation is. Your main girls are not going to feel special if you're taking out all these girls on these expensive places. If you start dating a girl with high income stuff, trips, all this stuff, then when you try to do something special, it's not going to be special because the norm is doing something special, so to speak. You guys know what I'm saying? So the reason why my girl is so appreciative of what I do for her, because I don't do it for other girls. So now it has value because it's scarce. But this is what she's expecting. And then she's like, older men are just geared to showing you they like you. So I say all this. Right? And like I say, you can pause it and read it. And she's like, I think you should go date men. Excuse me? I should go date men because I'm not willing to just give you stuff just for you existing? Because the coffee is so low that us talking, getting to know each other, which is what a date is, isn't good enough because enough money isn't spent. That's insane. Like I said, you guys can read it. I'm trying to make this a short video. So she goes, so a coffee date is a tryout for a real date. I gotcha. I don't think we're compatible. I've already said that. Hence why I said we should stop talking right now. So then I go, I have a lot of females, and I show them this, which I did. We were laughing about it. I said, they are worth it. You aren't, which is why you're single. Traditional, because she's saying she wants a traditional man. I say, you want tradition when it benefits you, but none of the responsibilities that come with it. You expect a man to impress you, chase you, and spend on you just for showing up. That's not tradition. That's entitlement. Coffee was a test, and you failed it. No hard feelings, just facts. I still think I'm being respectful. This is that's your opinion, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, this is getting too disrespectful. I said I have multiple successful relationships. You don't have any. You're disrespectful, rude, entitled. I think you deserve, I said, and you think you deserve, at 35, way past your prime, you're delusional. She is. She's acting like she's a hot 18-year-old, fresh off the boat, virgin. And I'm talking about what men value. Men value youth and kindness. And then she has the audacity, and you guys can see her picture. She's not that good looking. Never test a pretty woman, by the way. She'll always fail. And I say, no, you just fail. Don't put your own failures on other females. And then she starts talking about, why are you so upset? 'Cause that one stung. That one stung. Why are you so upset? Congratulations, I dodged a bullet. You act feminine, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm matching your energy. You guys can see, I have been nice this entire time. I have a limit. You're not going to disrespect me. She said, I don't accept it. She said, I don't have to accept just anything as well. I accept coffee. You dislike that. I'm not sure what more you want. I said, which is why you're single at 35. Never had an adult relationship. This is on her own profile. I said, you throw insults and expect none back? Well, obviously, what you like isn't liking you back. No, I'm not going to take disrespectful. I said, I'm not going to take a disrespectful girl who is ungrateful on any kind of coffee date or anything. You don't deserve it. You're very rude. 3 times now, I have told her I'm not interested in going on a date with her. And she says, you're confusing as all the other crap. And I'm like, how about you apologize for being, aggressive, disrespectful, etc. And she puts a laughing emoji. She said, I think you're mad that a pretty girl just friend zoned you. I've said no to you 3 times now. And I talk about, for her, it's a badge of honor. Basically, this whole thing, you guys can pause it and read it. This whole thing is me talking about, you see the most successful females, right? What has value is scarce. So she's acting like she's a boss babe. Cool. She's a boss babe. She's a CEO, blah, blah, blah. Cool. But you know what you can't keep is a man. Have you noticed that all these females that are so successful can do all this? They can run a marathon. They can jump into outer space. They can do all this stuff, but they can't keep a man? So because you can't keep a man, and most females can't keep men, then that has value. That's the one thing that you can't do. See my point? You can do everything. You're a superhero, but you can't keep a man. So then that's the only thing that has value because you can't do it. See my point? That's ultimately what I was saying. You don't want to pause and read it. And she said, can't keep a man. I don't want a man to keep. He needs to be trying to keep me. That's tradition. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing, not the other way around. I have nothing to apologize for. She has nothing to apologize for, but she's being this rude and disrespectful. I said, I have multiple girlfriends. Stop trying to tell a man what to do. You're the one with the problem. Well, obviously, no one is trying to keep you. That's why you're single. I know that one stung her. She said, there is literally no problem. We're just not compatible, which I said in the beginning. I'm telling her she's rude. You guys kind of read through this. She said, go seek therapy. I'm saying she hasn't disproved anything, so I must be right, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, you guys can pause the video. So she's saying that she didn't say anything disrespectful. I'm telling her that she has, and I pointed it out multiple times. This is the part where it gets a little bit more, political, but everything that I stated is true. You can Google it. I said the funny part, this is exactly why successful men like myself and other men don't date black females. Why do I have to fight you to talk to you? That's insane. Now, I know a lot of guys, my peers and colleagues, they're all just like, black females are cooked, they're done. I don't see it that way. I don't think all black females are bad. I don't think that, I think there's a lot of them that are like this. She might be one of the worst ones to come, but I disagree with that. I think that this is just her in particular, but I've never met a black female who isn't rude. I'll put it that way. And that's not talking bad about black females. I'm just saying my personal experience. I've never met one that's not rude. So then she talks about her Jeep and stuff like that. You guys can read this. She's talking about she don't care because she don't date black men herself, but she's the one who liked me. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of that. She's the one who liked me. She liked me first, but you don't date black men. Okay, bet. So I said, well, please let the other man have you, because no men of substance will date you. Hence why you're 35 and single, haven't had a real relationship. That's on her own profile. And then she goes, because of exactly how you're talking to me and so upset, any other race of men know their role. Okay? I said, if you want a weak man to get walked over, which you don't, which is why you are single, then have at it. So she types this whole thing, about, I'm independent, I have an amazing job. No, she's not. She's depressed and alone. So I said, and that goes for anyone. Anyone say I'm happily single. Men and women need each other at the end of the day. So I said, it's funny. I'm actually talking to another Jessica. Her name is Jessica. Simultaneously while I talk to you. And she's white. And we're having a great conversation. I'll show a picture of that. But with you, the black girl, it goes like this. It's truly sad because 80% of you all aren't married or aren't in a relationship. You all also have the lowest rating on dating apps. All this is true. I'm not making this up. I said, the majority of men aren't dating you because you act like this. All their attributes you are saying is a man's success. That's what females find attractive. Men don't. What you are saying you can do, but I'll mess this whole thing up. You guys can read it. I'll mess this whole thing up. I'm trying to make this fast. But you guys get the point, alright? You guys get the point. I'm really trying to make this like maybe 5 minutes, but I'll probably go over that. Maybe less than 10 minutes. So then she said, white men want like us, blah, blah, blah. I say, you are the lowest rating of desirable woman in America. And it doesn't matter what you're saying. It's statistically true, which is true. Black females have the lowest rating of desirability in America, alright? I'm not going to cut nothing on this, all one take. So, you guys can read it. I want to hit the key points. So I'm scroll slow. If you guys want to pause it, you can. So then, this is one of the key parts here. So, she basically wanted me just to buy her stuff. She wants materialism, right? And she says, who doesn't like materialistic things? I'm a woman. Again, maybe you should date a man. You're proving my point that you're just a gold digger then. You're proving my point that you only want to talk to men to extract their money. And maybe that's her strategy, but it won't work on me. I said, just prove what I'm saying. You're talking psychobabble. She said, your character speaks for itself, and woo, thank God for divine intervention. Had I actually went out on a date, you may try to harm me and all the other crap. Like, girl, I told you I don't want you 3 times before you even said anything. Alright? So I said, you literally proved my point with the mass levels of delusion. You aren't worthy of a date. Remember, I called her off. What are you talking about? And then she goes on this psychobabble tirade. Oh, you would have tried to do something to me because I rejected you. I said, is this how you cope with the reality that you lost your chance with someone you will probably never meet again? Someone of my level? Men like me don't date old chicks like you because you act like this, which is true. And then, obviously, she blocked me. So I'm not sure what happened to the rest of the original video, but overall, she blocked me, and I was saying that I want you all to give me your all's opinion. But as a man, do not let anyone disrespect you like this. You're paying for the date. Are you really going to take a girl out to disrespect you and you're paying for the date? No. Have some balls. Have some self-respect. You're going to get talked to how you want to get talked to, because how you started out is how it's going to end. And she doesn't look good enough to demand what she's trying to say. She's not a virgin. She acting like she's 18, freshly 18, sexy. Like, no, you're not. You're way out of your BMI, and you're just for fun. I think big girls are very fun to mess around with, but you don't want to take them seriously. It's like exotic, it's like you're eating ice cream, or it's like eating candy, until it's not tasty anymore. That's the exact thing on how I see bigger females, especially like big black females. Before I can close this out, she actually unblocked me and sent me another message, but I don't care. She's cooked. She's done. I'm not even going to open it. I'm not going to look at it. She lost her chance. I'll show you guys the picture of that. But that ends it for the video. Just wanted to add this in because I thought that was funny. They always come back.